This is weird, but training harder is not always the fastest way to grow muscle. There is a guy at your gym who has been there every single day for the past 2 years. He shows up 6 days a week, sometimes 7. He does 2-hour sessions, hits every machine, sweats through every set, and posts his workouts online. And yet, if you look at him today versus a photo from 18 months ago, he looks almost identical. Same size, same shape, roughly the same body fat. Nothing has really changed. Then there is another guy. He trains 3 days a week. His sessions are maybe 50 minutes long. He walks his dog every morning, sleeps 8 hours, eats without obsessing, and somehow, every few months, he looks noticeably better. More muscle, leaner, more put together. The difference between these two people is not genetics. It is not supplements. It is not some secret program. The difference is that one of them understands how the body actually works, and the other one is just working hard without working smart. Most fitness content online is built around the idea that more is better. More volume, more frequency, more intensity, more sacrifice. But the human body does not respond to effort alone. It responds to stress, followed by recovery. Without recovery, you are just breaking yourself down repeatedly and wondering why nothing is growing. The aesthetic body most people want, the kind that looks lean and athletic without being cartoonishly huge, is actually built through a surprisingly manageable routine. 3 days of focused training, daily low-intensity movement, consistent sleep, and a diet that does not require you to weigh every gram of food you eat. That is the entire system. And the reason it works better than grinding 6 days a week is rooted in basic physiology that most people skip over because it is not exciting enough to go viral. When you lift weights, you are creating microscopic damage in your muscle fibers. That damage triggers a repair process, and during that repair process, the muscle grows back slightly stronger and slightly larger. This is called muscle protein synthesis, and it has a timeline. After a hard training session, muscle protein synthesis stays elevated for roughly 48 to 72 hours. That means your muscles are actively rebuilding and growing for up to 3 days after a single workout. If you train the same muscle group again before that process completes, you are interrupting the repair cycle. You are not building on top of progress. You are just creating new damage before the old damage is healed. This is why so many people who train 6 days a week stop progressing. They are in a constant state of breakdown without giving their body enough time to rebuild. 3 days a week, with full rest days in between, perfectly aligns with this biological timeline. You train on Monday, your body repairs and grows Tuesday and Wednesday. You train again on Thursday, your body repairs and grows Friday and Saturday. And you train again on Saturday or Sunday, completing the cycle. Every session hits muscles that are fully recovered and ready to be challenged again. This is not laziness. This is precision. The sessions themselves need to be focused and intentional. Each workout should cover the major movement patterns: a push movement like a bench press or overhead press, a pull movement like a row or a pull-up, a hinge movement like a deadlift or Romanian deadlift, and a squat pattern. 4 to 5 exercises per session, 3 to 4 sets each, with progressive overload tracked over time. Progressive overload simply means that over weeks and months you are gradually lifting more weight or doing more reps than you did before. That slow, consistent increase in challenge is what forces the body to keep adapting. Without it, even the best program stops working. Here is the part that most people underestimate because it sounds too simple. Walking, not running, not cardio classes, not the Stairmaster, just walking, done every single day for 30 to 60 minutes. Walking is one of the most powerful tools for building an aesthetic body because it burns calories without triggering the stress response that intense cardio creates. When you do high-intensity cardio on top of a weight training program, your body experiences elevated cortisol levels. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and chronically high cortisol tells your body to hold on to fat, particularly around the midsection, and can actually break down muscle tissue over time. This is why people who do endless cardio often look soft rather than lean. Walking, on the other hand, keeps cortisol low, burns a meaningful number of calories over time, improves insulin sensitivity, supports better sleep, and keeps your metabolism active on rest days without interfering with muscle recovery. And honestly, this is why so many people are starting to move away from punishing workouts and extreme fitness routines altogether. More and more people are discovering that lower stress approaches, especially simple daily stretching and mobility routines, can actually support metabolism, recovery, fat burning, and overall energy levels without destroying your joints or leaving you exhausted all the time. There's a stretching-based program a lot of people have been using for exactly that reason, and if you want to learn more about it, I've linked it in the description below. Anyway, a person who walks 8 to 10,000 steps per day while training 3 days a week will consistently look leaner than someone who does 6 gym sessions and sits completely still the rest of the time. The math is simple. Daily movement adds up to an enormous caloric expenditure over weeks and months, and it does so without the recovery cost of intense exercise. Make the walk part of your morning. Take it before you eat. Take it with coffee. Take it with a podcast. It does not need to be structured or tracked obsessively. It just needs to happen every day. The diet side of this routine is deliberately simple because complexity is the enemy of consistency. You do not need to count every calorie or eliminate entire food groups. You need to eat enough protein, keep total food intake roughly aligned with your goals, and stop treating every meal like a moral decision. Protein is the one non-negotiable. Aim for around 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight each day. This gives your body the raw material it needs to repair and build muscle after training. Beyond that, eat mostly whole foods, vegetables, fruits, lean meats, eggs, rice, potatoes, and oats, and allow yourself flexibility without guilt. The goal is a slight caloric deficit if you want to lose fat, or a slight surplus if you want to build muscle. Neither extreme needs to be dramatic. A difference of 200 to 300 calories in either direction is enough to drive slow, sustainable change without making you miserable. Sleep is where the actual transformation happens. Growth hormone, which is the primary hormone responsible for muscle repair and fat metabolism, is released almost entirely during deep sleep. If you are sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night, you are cutting off the most important part of the process. 8 hours is the target, not 7, not 7.5. 8 full hours in a dark, cool room with a consistent bedtime. People who prioritize sleep build muscle faster, lose fat more easily, have better energy for their workouts, and make better food choices throughout the day. It is not optional. It is the foundation everything else sits on. The guy who trains 3 days a week and looks incredible every year is not doing anything magical. He is training hard enough to create a stimulus, resting long enough to let his body respond to that stimulus, walking daily to stay lean without burning out, eating enough protein to support growth, and sleeping enough to let all of it actually work. That is the entire formula. No grinding, no 6-day splits, no 2-hour sessions, just a sustainable system applied consistently over time, which is the only thing that has ever actually worked. Most people think getting lean and building muscle requires living in the gym, but the reality is that the body responds best to consistency, recovery, and smart training over time. So now I want to hear from you. What do you think is the most underrated part of building a lean, athletic body? Recovery, walking, sleep, or nutrition? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if you want more videos on fat loss, muscle building, metabolism, recovery, and sustainable fitness strategies that actually work in real life, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next video.